Welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that. I'm Joe.
And I'm Calvin. And welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Yes. Which we also said in our intro. So, double dose.
And she still doesn't realize she's a narcissist yet.
What? So they aren't privy to our previous conversation. So, okay, great.
Yeah. We had a lot of revelations earlier.
Honestly, a superiority complex is not a sign of narcissism. Thank you very much.
Said like a true narcissist. That's what a narcissist will say.
Elitism is a different thing. I might be elitist.
We'll be going over Hoochie Daddies, Episode 9, Love During Lockup, Season 5, and Worth the Watch is Love in Paradise, Season 4. But first, we're going to go over all the good goods and all the things that happened this week. And that happened with Joe.
Boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
Diddy still in the news. The Cassie video dropped shortly after we recorded last week, and it was not good. It was not good. It was also very interesting that the video comes out and now people are like, okay, so maybe what Cassie was saying is true, which is a shame. Anywho, the video comes out. It's part of I don't even know what lawsuit it's connected to because it's not connected to Cassie's per se. It's being used as evidence, like as character evidence of like what he's capable of for something else. It makes me wonder what else she has access to. What other videos she's got? It also threw into conversation how many people around Diddy knew this video existed and didn't do anything. And so Diddy also had access to that video and allegedly paid like 50 grand to get it. It also speaks to his accessibility in terms of squashing it from going public or going to the police as well. It establishes a lot of things all in that one space. And then after that, we've had responses across the board of how people, black men specifically, feel about his apology video. It was refreshing to have some men's take be like, this apology video is not an apology video, and kind of calling out Diddy and holding him accountable to his actions, because his apology video never addresses Cassie specifically. It more addresses his public image being held by the everydayers and how he's sorry that got tarnished. But then you also have people like Floyd Mayweather, who says he's never going to say a negative thing against Diddy and feels like, in no uncertain terms, that bad things happen sometimes and you just got to roll with the punches, basically. And then in addition to that, there's 2 new civil lawsuits being filed against Diddy for sexual assault for people or his victims that are now coming forward as more and more start to come forward. What did you think of all of this, Calvin?
Whatever, I don't care. Look, people knew what he was doing. No one cared until the gravy train started to go down. Now everyone cares. These same dude that's talking out were the same dudes that were partying with him probably a couple of years prior. They've been at a couple of Diddy parties. Now, does that make you a bad person for going to the parties? No. Does that make you culpable for going to the parties? No. Does that mean he touched you since you went to the party? No. But I'm just saying, all these people were cool with him. They're still going to be cool with him. They're just going to do it from a distance now. That's all. And like, what do we think if video came out about what Diddy was doing was going to look like? What do we think it was going to look like? That's my question. So video got released of Diddy doing what was already in those reports or what's already out there for us to read about that he was doing. What do we think it was going to look like on video? I wasn't shocked by the video. That's all I'm saying.
You were one of the people who said maybe Diddy didn't do it. And then when I showed you that video, you said, how do we know it's him?
How do we know it's him? It's just a dude in a towel.
Exactly.
He didn't Harlem Shake down the hallway.
So how
to
can
go
you
after her.
simultaneously know that he's capable of doing this and then at the same time say he's not capable of
He
doing
didn't say
this?
he didn't say bad boy for life or nothing. So I don't know.
You said that's how I would know it's Diddy.
That's how I know it's
Clearly,
Diddy did.
he
Clearly.
would have did the shimmy, but he
Exactly.
didn't. That could be anybody.
Yeah. I'm
Your-
just saying.
Your timing for jokes is very interesting.
I'm just saying. From the video and everything we have, from reading the affidavits and everything, what you think the video was gonna look like if we got video of him doing something?
I don't think people thought the video was actually going to be released. That's what I thought. That's what I think.
How do you?
Because he squashed that Cassie lawsuit the next day. So a lot of people were under the impression, or the assumption actually, that part of the contingency for closing that lawsuit as quickly as they did was that she wasn't going to release anything. But the other issue is that even if that was in place and that was an agreement, because this is a criminal act, goes out the window. She can do, and allegedly Cassie is working with FBI, and this might be even more information that they have towards whatever case they're building.
Look, in a time we live in, there were videos out there. Somebody probably took that video, was playing it for their local friends or something like that. Who knows?
Here's my question that comes up after all of this terrible stuff that's coming out about Diddy, and people having already known the rumors circulating that are not new. They've been around for ages, but it's now like there's actual consequences, it seems, that are being held against him for this. He's just one of many. Do you think we're going to see something coming out around Jay-Z or Nas?
It's just his time. Nas stuff is documented with him and Khalees. And it's only going to be if less he's been out there sexually assaulting women. Which, from what we know now, it's not the case.
Did you see the CNN video with Cameron?
Cameron didn't want to be there.
So you saw it?
Nor did he. He don't have any information. He didn't hang with Diddy like that.
Here's my question. What did Cameron think he was going to do on this interview? That was my question. What did you think he thought what the interview was going to be about?
No, Cameron said, I think they got me mixed up with Mace.
That's not what he said.
Yeah, he said it on his podcast. He was talking about it on his podcast.
In her interview with him, she said, you've talked about how close you are with Mace. He said, yeah, he helped, set me up, blah, blah, blah. And she points out that Mace didn't tell him to sign up under Diddy. He tells him to sign up with Biggie.
And he talked about that. He was like, I've talked about this numerous times.
Okay.
I don't know why they wanted
Okay. So my question is, what did he think the interview was going to be about?
He was like, I was just going to promote my brand, our podcast, stuff like that. He was like, if she wanted real information about Diddy and all the stuff, Diddy movement, she should have brought Mace on, not me.
I don't know that she necessarily was looking for real information about Diddy as much as she was trying to establish character for Diddy.
No, my thing is, she should have went to Mace. Oh, maybe.
The question wasn't directly, do you think Diddy's capable of this? She was saying, what were your interactions like with Diddy? That's what her question was. But what took me out was him holding that little can of it's horse powder. He's got horse powder.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
What is it?
For libido, I guess.
Yes. It's a vitamin, it's a supplement that's supposedly supposed to help increase your libido. It's him openly taking it and being like, I gotta clap some cheeks after this. Live. On air. Before she even gets into the question.
My first thing
that
is
took me out.
My first thing is, Cameron does crazy stuff like that. Why are we talking to him? And I don't blame her. I think she already knew this thing was going left.
You can see it on her face. You see it on her face. Before
in the back
the
of her
questions
mind,
even start, she's like, this is why.
I think she started laughing in her head like, you guys wanted him on.
I think she was pissed. I think in her head, she was like, I don't know why production feels like this is necessary. We all know this is going to go sideways. I don't know why we're doing this in the first place.
I think she felt like, you guys know. Have you not seen any of his other interviews?
The look on her face, to me, very much read like black woman read, I'm already over this shit. I don't know what they think we're going to get out of this, but I'm going to do my job.
But
let's go ahead and do it.
At the same time, too, if they really wanted to do an interview about the inner workings of Diddy and some of the stuff.
The question
shoulda
wasn't
went-
about the inner workings of
Well, what I'm
Diddy.
saying to you is that was the whole point of the interview of him trying to get somebody who might have some insight to Puffy, who might know some stuff, and he might give us a gem.
Well, I mean, I can understand it. I can
They
understand
should have just talked to
thinking
Mace.
that that's the perceived intent. I get
They
that.
should have just talked to Mace.
But her actual question was, instead of signing under Diddy, you decided to sign under Biggie. Like, why exactly did you do that? And that's when he goes
yeah,
left, because he realizes this can lead to another discussion around Diddy. And I know what's going on with Diddy right now. I also am trying to clap some cheeks, so I don't got time. But what cracked me up was not only his refusal to answer, but him just being like, "Yeah, if you really want more information, you can check it out on my podcast." It was hysterical.
Yeah, because
hysterical.
They talked about that at numerous lengths about how the interview. He was like, if they wanted to know stuff with Diddy, they should have brought you on. You worked with him. It made more sense. And he asked me about why you take me to
Mace was
Biggie's-
on his podcast. Is that what you're saying?
Him and Mace are podcast buddies. They do a podcast together.
Okay, so he was talking to Mace directly
Yeah.
and was saying this.
Yeah.
Okay,
They got a podcast, actually a really good podcast together.
what's their podcast called?
It's Money and something. I don't
I thought Mace was a
I-
preacher.
I don't know what the hell Mace is.
Okay.
I can't tell you. One day he's a preacher. One day he's back at Bad Boy. Feels so good. And then he's doing a podcast. 'Cause him and Cameron are really good friends.
Okay, yeah, he said they go back a long time.
Yeah, back a lot of time, like really good friends.
Mhm.
Like best friends.
Mhm.
So he's sitting there talking, they're having a conversation, and he's like, we talked about how you took me to Biggie because you said you think Biggie would do right by me. And that's why he took me to Biggie instead of Puff. And I said forever, I was grateful for that. And forever you was my man's, that's something we already rehashed 9,000 times, so I didn't feel like talking about it all over again. If they really wanted to know stuff about Puff, they should have asked you because you work with him. And Mace was like, yeah, I know, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. So I feel bad for the CNN lady, but at the same time too, have you not seen any of his interviews on that type of setting? Like he went on what's that old man?
I don't feel bad for the CNN lady. I think she knew at the jump this was not going to be.
What's that old?
This was gonna be a
old
soundbite.
ass dude that used to be on CNN.
Anderson Cooper,
No, the old guy, the really old guy.
Calvin. I don't know. There's a lot of old white men on the
Well-
CNN. Which one? Ron Burgundy.
No, I forgot. Whatever. He and Cameron did an interview, and he asked Cameron, it might have been somebody else, if there was a murderer in your apartment building, would you snitch? And he was like, no, I'm not going to snitch if there's a murderer in my building and I know. So,
What?
yeah. So this ain't
What?
this ain't new. So, whatever. But yeah, I just thought they should have just got Mace. Period.
That's so funny. What did you think about Diddy's apology video?
It wasn't an apology.
Mm.
You can't apologize for something that you said you didn't do.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So that kills that right there. Then all the responses to it, I'm like, is late. It's easy to Monday quarterback.
Okay. Okay. After the fact.
Yeah,
Mhm.
after the fact. So whatever, it is what it is.
You think more cases are going to come out?
Of course.
Okay.
They have nothing to lose. They can only win.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's winning. Hell, I might say something. I don't know. Shoot. Everybody's winning.
Calvin.
They're winning.
What Diddy experience you got?
I went and got some damn Ciroc. And I don't like the way I got touched after drinking Ciroc. Ciroc made me feel funny. Somebody got me. I don't know shit. Make some up.
That's not correlated to Diddy at all. Please
Yeah.
don't use that as an example.
He owns Ciroc, so
That's not the same correlation.
whatever.
We just went over this. We just had a conversation about this.
Tomato, potato.
Oh my goodness.
They both has ends with
Calvin's
T-O.
upset that Universal Music Group is included in these lawsuits for some
No,
reation. He
I'm
feels
not-
like they are innocent
I'm
bystanders.
not upset. I don't care. That's what we should really say.
If that was true, you wouldn't have used the example you just used. Anywho,
Whatever.
what do you think about the Mary J. Blige of it all?
What Mary J. Blige?
There's an accusation out there that she flew a 15-year-old boy in and romanced and slept with this underage child at some point in her career. He's now older and he's been saying this story for a very long time. But it's becoming more and more people are becoming aware of it because of Diddy, because of all the stuff that's going on with Diddy.
Do you believe it?
I do.
Why?
Think back to that time frame. Think about the music that we had in that time frame. There's a lot of songs by lady artists that talk about grabbing a guy when he's young, getting him when he's young. There is a song that's been repeated recently by what's her name? MC Light. I don't think it's Roughneck. One of these songs, she talks about how like all these guys are going after young women, so she's going to go after young men. And I think it's supposed to be satirical. I don't think she's actually saying she's going to go do it. But at the time that this dude was 15, because he's around our age, so around the time that this dude was 15, I wouldn't be surprised if that was something that got introduced. If that was part of another element of that studio culture where they just did stuff like that.
Whatever. Until I see proof, I don't care. And two, Mary J. Blige was too busy trying to run away from KC and for whipping her ass and shit. She had her own demons and drug things she was going through.
You said her plate was full.
Her plate was very full. She's trying to not get beat up and
well, allegedly this was
cocaine.
early in her career. This was early in her career.
Stop.
But what I'm thinking, because she was born in 71, and this guy's saying it happened when he was 15. He was born a little. Their age difference is like, I want to say 7 or 8 years. I would not be surprised, especially back then, that she didn't see nothing wrong with it, or that she got introduced to this through somebody like Diddy or somebody in the industry who's like, this is normalized.
So it sounds like they set her up.
That's what
I
wouldn't be surprised.
Literally sound like they set her up with some dude that she thought was older, and it was a kid.
I don't know about that she thought was older, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if the context is that it was just viewed as normal. I don't think that they oversold how old he was, but I also don't think they were like, it's a bad thing that he's the age he is.
Whatever.
In my opinion.
Sound like a setup to me.
Because she goes on. Well, I don't know this lady from Adam. I really don't. But what's been presented is that she's gone on to date older men, like men that are older than her. So.
And that didn't work out good for her either.
It did not.
So sounds like she was too busy trying to get her life together. I don't think she had time to be chasing around a 15-year-old boy.
Oh, his name is Danny Boy. He was signed to the old Death Row Records at the time.
Oh, you mean Danny Boy? He's like a producer and a singer.
Yeah.
He sung "I Ain't Mad at You."
I don't know where he sang on.
With Tupac.
Oh, he's only there's a 6-year age difference. She was born in 71. He's born in 77. For me, that's filling in a lot of blanks. If she was 21, I mean, he's still 15. But if she was 21 and he was 15, especially back then, I can see them not blinking an eye. Also, he's a guy. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stigmatization around sexual assault for young men. They don't even see it. I can absolutely see in them selling this, like, oh, look at what he did. He got with Mary J. Blige. He got with an older woman. Look what he can do. Like, I can absolutely see them selling it that way.
Oh, Danny Boy. Whatever. Yeah, he's be on Death Row. He used to sing a lot of their hooks.
Mm-hmm.
I think he also is a music producer.
Yeah, he's in music. He did. They have been circulating the old Vlad TV interview he did, where he talks about it, and that was back in like 2021. But he's been talking about it for a minute. He's been saying this for a while, that they flew him out to basically just have sex with Mary J. Blige.
So it sounds like a group of people flew him out to set Mary up.
I don't know about being set up, but
Sounds
I can absolutely
like a
see
setup
it
to me.
being normalized.
Sounds like a setup to me.
I don't know, because then they would have to.
You just said a bunch of people flew him out.
But for it to be a setup means there's an intent. First of all, they know it's wrong, and there's an intent to blackmail her with that information for it to be a setup.
Yeah. So anytime she try to hold out or not want to put out an album for something, look at what you did.
Okay, but the other thing is, we've only recently, as a society, really condemned this.
Listen, Why are we talking about something we don't know if it's true or not?
I like how you don't want to hear my points. You're just going to cut me off. All right, moving on to the next thing. What else have I got in here for that happened? Oh, really? Oh, Kelly Rowland got into it with a security guard at Cane's. Some people are saying the security guard didn't do anything wrong. Kelly was out of pocket. Kelly Rowland is saying that there was an misunderstanding. She stood her ground. That security guard stood their ground. It was what it was. That's really all that she's saying. Other people are saying it might have been racial, in that Kelly was just doing what all the other celebrities were doing, but because Kelly is black, all of a sudden now it was a problem. Which, I mean, that be happening.
From what you look at the video, it sounds like the lady was trying to rush her from
Her spot.
taking her pictures and doing her stuff. And then the lady stepped on her dress.
Yeah.
The lady said something. She was like, no worries. Then it looked like the lady said something else. And then that's when Kelly lost her fucking mind.
My thing is, I would not be surprised if this did have a racial hinge to it. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if this lady had very limited patience for the black woman that was on the red carpet, but had unlimited patience for the white people that were there. I would not be surprised.
So it seems like she was fine until the lady kept trying to shush her or rush her through.
Yeah. Muscle her away.
Muscle
Absolutely.
Yeah. Try to bully her into picking up her pace.
The other thing is, this is Kelly Rowland. She hasn't really presented herself as problematic. She's not known for wilding out anywhere. So it's very interesting. But anyway, so that happened. I've been watching a lot of Black America versus Black UK things on my socials. It's been coming across a lot. There's I should have got like all the tags. But anyway, basically, there's been a lot of conversation amongst younger people. So this is like Gen Z age Black people. For whatever reason, there's an understanding in the UK that Black Americans don't have culture. We don't know where we're from originally in terms of our countries. And we're dumber and less traveled.
Just because your countries are closer to your oppressors who snatched you up from your countries doesn't mean you are any better than me.
What I find very interesting, my takeaways from all of this, is one, they don't see themselves as English. Like, they live in England, but they don't consider themselves English. They'll say the country that their parents are from. I'm Jamaican, or I'm South African, or I'm Ghanaian. They'll say that. And then so there's a guy from Brooklyn who's over there doing these interviews. He'll be like, and English. And they're like, no. It's him being like, you were born in England. Yeah. You live in England. Yeah. So your nationality is English. No, I'm Jamaican. It's very interesting. Or when he points out that England is part of Europe, so they're European also, they'll be like, no, we're not part of Europe, which is hilarious. So that's exciting. It's just very interesting. And I like the way this one guy does it, because he doesn't do it with maliciousness, but he just point out inconsistencies very eloquently, and it's very funny. But I just find it interesting because there's been a lot of rage bait postings that have been growing in number from people not from America, talking about what they deem to be American culture, but they're really just describing Black culture, but they won't attribute it to being Black culture, which is hysterical. And lastly, Dirty D is coming back. Season 3, long awaited. It's going to be on Peacock only. It won't be on Tubi. So the rest of you sorry suckers who haven't bought a Peacock subscription, you won't get to know what the Dirty D Season 3 is, apparently.
Oh, so you won't be able to see soft porn anymore for free.
They're also doing it in 2 parts. It's a 6-episode series. It's a short series, but they're doing 2 parts. First 3 episodes are going to drop in June 13th. And then the second set of 3 episodes is dropping July 11th.
When you're shooting porn, you got to find places to be able to do it.
The show is done. They shoot the whole thing at the same time. So their shooting schedule is done. The reason it's split up is Peacock. Peacock wants the streaming numbers. So having it drop in 1 month and then drop in another month, just like Netflix did with Bridgerton, it's to help their streaming numbers. It's to load their stats.
Sounds to me like Peacock needs stuff. They're running out of users. So I guess the
Do
Dirty
you think the Dirty
D,
D has a huge enough following to to make that kind of change for Peacock?
they got enough to make them want to put it on there. That's all I can tell you.
Well, I forget who owns Tubi. One of those, I think it's NBC or Viacom. Somebody, one of the big companies, all owns Tubi. They bought it out from the people that created it originally. That's why it's gone through so many changes, and now it's like this purple and gold situation. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm excited. I want to see Dirty D season 3.
She likes to watch porn.
Calvin, you're telling me you're not sucked in by the
Apparently.
storylines? You're not sucked in by the story, Calvin?
The story that doesn't
Are they
even
gonna get
stick to
away
the
with
story.
the business?
The story that doesn't even stick to the story. I'm supposed to be stuck to that. The story that doesn't
Is the strip
stick
club gonna make it?
to the story.
Is the drug dealing business gonna grow?
Who even said they're gonna use the same storyline in half from season 2? Who knows what we're gonna get?
They definitely didn't use the same storyline from season 1.
Apparently, they changed. They just started to change storylines after season 1, and they only did 6 episodes. They can't even stick to a same storyline for 6 episodes.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Why?
I'm gonna watch it. I
There'll
love
probably be
it.
some dude at a gas station,
I love it.
and he got all the females in there working for pennies. But to get that manager job, they're gonna do whatever they got to do to be the manager of that gas station.
You know what I want it to be?
Get out of here.
The same production group that made that Detroit one we watched. The where the girls were assassins, and they were taking off all the drug dealers, and they were working for the what is it?
The DA.
Yeah, they were working for the DA. I want that for season 3. I would love that. I would love it. I would love it.
You know what? I should never have. I should never have introduced you to trash TV.
Black trash TV is delicious. It's
I
great.
should have never done this.
I don't know what you're talking about. Your own people also kill it in the game. I'm ready. I'm waiting for a Geechee One production TV series. I'm waiting. The movies are phenomenal.
Stop.
What was we watched the Tiffany doll one? Tiffany doll?
Don't even recite the name of that stupid movie on this podcast.
It was great. It was great. Okay.
Really?
They became a meme. That meme of the girl who's dodging the bullets on the stairs and walking down slowly with a knife. That's your people. That's from that movie.
Stop. This is why we don't have anything of substance, or we don't get quality anymore.
That is quality.
We watch so much trash.
That is quality. First of all, I love it. I like the creativity. I like the ingenuity. If white people can do this all the time, why can't we?
Whatever. That's why you get an album with just 2 songs.
2 songs.
It's a 30 thing. They don't do disc no more. What is it called?
Actually, CDs are coming back.
A 30 album.
30 track
album, and you only get 2 songs that you can listen to.
You're so crazy. So that's it for That Happened. You want to move on to Worth the Watch?
Move on to Worth the Watch, 90 Day in Paradise.
Yes. Oh, I put the wrong number on here, but this is Love in Paradise season 4, episode 5, not episode 4, like it says in the note.
Yeah. So Kyle and Anika.
You remember what was happening? It was right after their fight. And it's short. They don't do a lot on Kyle and Anika because she must have told them by the end of filming, I'm not dating him anymore. That has to be it because they gave us breadcrumbs. But she comes back from the fight. They're still in the store. She's still upset that he won't stop making babies with strangers while he's dating her. And then the previews for next week is him getting tested for an STI or STD.
Because when you just messing with anything, apparently you catch everything.
Here's my thing. She gets mad and storms off. He shuts down. He sits down in a chair and is overwhelmed. He does not chase after her or anything. And then even when she comes back, she initiates the conversation. It was very interesting.
What part of him says he has people skills? We know he doesn't.
All the babies.
No.
Calvin.
No. It's like a robot. Imagine you having a robot that you just pull out to have sex with. That's what he
He's a
is.
vibrator. He's a dildo.
He's a dildo.
A sperm producing dildo.
He just happens to be a human being. That's all he is.
Bizarre. Anywho, moving
Difference
on.
is no one has been cleaning him off
Ew.
good enough.
Ew.
So now he caught something.
Ew.
What?
We don't know that he caught anything.
Whatever.
Gross. Anywho.
He didn't spray antiseptic on himself.
Not
After every use.
Please don't spray antiseptic on your toys. Please don't do that. Use a water-based cleanser. You don't need to spray Lysol or anything on there. That's insane.
He didn't wipe himself down properly.
Calvin. Anywho, Sean and Aaliyah, what did you think about Aaliyah's formal goodbye ceremony for Douglas?
It made Sean cry, and he knows Douglas is gone forever. The end.
Okay, so you think this cemented it for Sean that Douglas is not coming back, right?
Yes.
What do you think?
Even though he tried to dive in that pit and grab that,
you think he had to hold himself back?
Try to grab that picture. Yeah. Did you go watch the scene?
Mm-hmm.
Look at his face. It's just.
Well, he's been saying that.
It's just dead.
Douglas was the one for him, and he's unsure about Aaliyah. Like, he's been saying this. And now Aaliyah has this formal ceremony where she's like, I'm really saying goodbye to that old life. I'm moving forward as Aaliyah. This is me fully moving forward as Aaliyah. It's very emotional for Aaliyah, for her friends, for Sean. But I think it also gives a sense of closure, at least for Aaliyah. I think for Sean, I think it's cementing that they're on a shortened timeline.
He doesn't want to be with a woman.
Yeah, he doesn't.
It makes him throw up in his mouth.
I don't know, but I don't know about that part.
So, it is what it is. If you go back and watch that scene, he looks fake.
Oh, Sean.
He looks fake.
Oh, you think he's going through the motions? He's
Yeah.
not. He's
Everything
not genuinely.
Everything is fake.
Very interesting. I wonder if he's just reserved. I read that as reserved. Like, he didn't want to do too much for this moment for Aaliyah.
I read it as him lying to that person because he knew this is not what he wants. And he was trying to just be fake and be a good friend for her.
For sure.
For sure.
I don't know. I feel I have empathy for Sean's plight. I do. Because, like he's been saying, he fell in love with one person, and this is a completely different person.
I don't feel bad for him. He brought it on himself.
I don't know about this brought on yourself business, but okay.
Yeah, he did it. He started buying hair and doing all that stuff.
Aaliyah had access to that already.
Not the type of stuff he had. He had the good hair.
Calvin, and hair does not make somebody want to change their gender, okay?
He had the Malaysian hair.
Oh, my goodness. Anywho.
He had the Indian hair.
Let's talk about this train wreck that's Alex and Adriano. I'm a hater of this relationship. This is so nonsensical. I don't understand. But Alex is talking to her cousin about her relationship with Adriano while her cousin's still in Italy. And her cousin's like, why are you wasting your time? Like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time? This is dumb. You are not on the same page. He's not even a man of God. What are you doing? And Alex is like, yeah, all of those things are true. And I'm going to persist. I think love can change him. So I'm going to stick with it. And her cousin's like, you're dumb. And Alex is like, yeah. And that's pretty much it.
I think she thinks their love is stronger than his one of threesome. But she pretty much quickly finds out that his love for threesome is stronger than their love.
No, quickly is not the word. Because she's still like, it might change. My thing is, he's the exact same way. He's thinking their love is going to get her to like threesome. But more than that, move with him to Australia and just change up all of this stuff and be on the same page as him. There's like this fundamental block of understanding that neither one is going to change. It's very interesting. And it's almost like the chemistry is outweighing everything else that's logical that's happening in that relationship.
I don't really see any chemistry.
I do.
Okay. I see lust.
Absolutely. But I think that's part of the chemistry.
That's not chemistry.
I can't blame her for getting swept up in the fantasy. I really can't. He's gorgeous. He dotes on her when she's in person with him. And I think those small moments of being cherished and experiencing that, especially for somebody who hadn't before, because she talks about how it's been a struggle, to have somebody who seems to be singularly focused on you in the moment, dotes on you, cherishes you the way that you've always dreamed of, you block out everything else. I can understand that, but their reality likes to come all the time and hit you in the face. So it's a matter of time.
No, reality's been backing that ass up in her face the whole time.
I,
She just don't want to dance with it. That's
do
all.
you think they're gonna last the season?
No.
I think they're gonna last the season. I think she's gonna hold out hope to the very end, and then I think at the very end of the season we're gonna get that note they
Unless
broke up.
unless they're obligated to, then yeah.
Oh, you think it might be another contractual obligation
Yes.
situation?
If they trying to get through the season and get that money, yes. But for their mental well-being,
Mm-hmm.
the smart thing would be no.
Well, the smart thing is a lot of things, but we would not have the show if people chose that,
Yeah, especially if they paying for you to be there too. Why not ride it out?
right? So my least favorite couple, Luke and Madeline. Let's talk about them. Luke has a meeting with his fellow American friend who also met and married a Colombian woman. And he's talking about how he lost his job, how he has a gazillion businesses open and is in massive debt, has tapped into his 401k, basically does not have savings. And Madeline's mad at him because she just found this out yesterday. And his friend has the audaciousness to be like, sounds like she's a gold digger to me. You need a prenup. What the fuck is happening right now? I am confusion. What?
Oh, that makes sense. They only have to make sense to one person. So if it does, then it makes sense to him.
Said logic can be anything. So
Yep.
it is. I understand it's also for story. Like they're also doing this for story, but it was the most nonsense. Madeline's responses felt so genuine when she was like, "Why the hell would I be with somebody who has no money and wants a prenup? That don't make no sense. That doesn't make any
That
sense.
don't make no
If
sense.
I wanted to be with you just for your money,
I don't
I
wanna
would
be
have
with-
dumped you."
I don't want to be with you for your money. I don't be with you somebody else for their money.
I love.
I don't
her.
need you for your money.
I'm really becoming a fan of Madeline.
That's
I
stupid.
really am.
I'm like, okay.
It was hysterical.
My whole thing is, you gotta have money to have a prenup.
He's like, I have other assets I need to protect. But then when he talks about those other assets, it's an apartment he has in Colombia and his other businesses.
That she helps him clean, by the way.
Yes. Yes.
So here's my thing.
And probably manages because she's in Colombia.
We need
So many
to
questions.
make these prenup more realistic. I should have got a prenup with certain duties.
Oh, I see. What do you think a prenup covers?
He has no money. So
He said prenups can be anything.
it
all
can
right?
be anything. He has no money.
We can ask for character. We can
Exactly.
ask for.
That's the only thing he can ask for. He has no money. That's what I'm saying. For you to
Oh
come
my
with me with a
gosh.
prenup, you better have a lot of money
Right.
or some stipulations of what you expect me to do while we're married.
Right.
Other than that,
Well,
don't come to me with a prenup.
Can't cover stipulations of expectation in a marriage.
then what is she really trying to do?
She or he?
What is he really doing with this prenup?
He's trying. It's the prenup also adds an element of like I'm coming from money. I'm coming from wealth.
He's not coming from,
We know that. We know
So
he
once
doesn't
again,
have this
how-
supposed wealth.
unless he's putting stipulations in this thing about you have to have sex with me this amount of times in a week. You got to cook and clean. And then on my side, I got to do this, and
He
this.
wants a contract in addition to this prenup.
That's the only prenup he can be coming with. Because if he come put a paper in front of me talking about assets that he don't have, even a lawyer be like,
What?
what? Why?
He's like, well, I do have these businesses that I've put thousands of dollars into.
My first
Are
question.
they making any profit, sir?
My first question is she helping you in any way with these
Right.
businesses?
Right.
The
Does she
answer
have
to-
any stake in your businesses?
If the
Oh,
answer
she
to
does.
that is yes, you don't have a prenup, sir.
You can still have a prenup, it just would have to be different things. But it is insane. And now he's taken this and running with it as a reason for them not to get married. I don't think this dude want to get married. But anywho. Then they go and meet Madeline's family. Because they were going to go meet up with her grandmother and her aunt. Her aunt is gorgeous, by the way, and looks more age appropriate. And immediately they're like, when is the wedding? Unbeknownst to us, they have been engaged for a while, which makes the math even more confusing that they've only been dating a year, yet they've had a year-long engagement. How did that happen? He met
Whatever.
her and engaged immediately?
The aunt's like, you've been saying this for a year now. What are you gonna
Actually, she doesn't say a year. She says for a long
for a
time.
long time? When is it gonna happen?
I
That's
think
the whole her aunt stand is like, stop talking, start making
did you
moves.
catch that they weren't using time frames at all?
Yeah,
Which to me further adds to the notion that he for sure met this girl when she was 16. Anywho.
we already knew that. You're rehashing things that everybody else already mathed on
We
and
already
knew.
know he met her when she was still in school. Anyway,
It's no
it's not a surprise.
surprise.
So gross. Anywho, but yes, they're like, when's the wedding? Because she's been carrying this engagement ring for a long time. There's a video on their socials from, it's posted as if it was like 15 weeks ago. But if you look at her, she's completely different in the video. She doesn't look like she looks right now. So it's clearly from a while ago. And it's for the engagement. Have you seen the video, Calvin? There's a helicopter
No.
that sprays like color fumes out to celebrate it. There's this grandiose production of him bringing her out of the helicopter so that he can propose to her in front of like these candles that are set up that say "Marry Me" amongst their friends and family. The camera pulls out to show the beautiful landscape that they're on. There's a slow-mo sequence where they're walking and holding each other, and then a long makeout for some reason. For the engagement.
And this is why he has no money.
Here's my other thing. I don't understand why people are, well, I understand why people are going so hard for Madeline as a gold digger. But here's my thing. Her expectation is at that level because that's what he brought for as long as she's known him. Clearly since she was 16. So we're talking about years of him acting like this swag life is his real life. To me, that doesn't read as gold digger. To me, that reads child groomed into thinking this is what this is. This is the expectation. She's also not afraid of work. Her business is still thriving. Her business is still operational and running right now. And that she's at supposedly every day. Now, some people have said she's not there every day, but I also don't care. She's running that business. So she's not afraid of work. She's keeping an eye on everything. I think the only thing she's a victim of is grooming.
And two, I can't ever talk about anybody's proposal. Ever.
The takeaway was not the proposal. The takeaway was that he met somebody who probably was 16 and is fronting like he doesn't want to marry her.
Once again, you keep saying probably. We knew he met her when she was a young
I don't want to
teen.
get sued. Allegedly.
Sued by who?
Luke,
For what? Calling out something he actually did?
you can't. Can you prove it? Otherwise, it's defamation and
Yeah.
conjecture.
I can prove it. It's called math.
Otherwise, it's defamation and conjecture.
No, it's called math.
You need facts for it to be that.
If we subtract the years of he known her and been talking to her and dealing with her from the time he said he started,
Calvin, I don't know if you've noticed,
the
they've
math
been
would pick me at
very
15,
careful to
16.
say a year for everything. They've been very careful when they're actually talking about time to say a year for all of the things.
Because of anything under 2 or 3, we'll put her as a teen.
Again, this is speculation.
Once again, we know. Henceforth, they talk in parables every time they talk about when they met, how long they've been together.
I would just like to take this moment
It's
to
it's
stipulate that I am saying that this is conjecture and speculation. Calvin is saying that this is fact. If there is a lawsuit, only him. Thank you.
They're talking in Chinese riddles every time they talk
That's
about how long
racist.
they've been together.
And that's racist. We're going to move on to the next one.
And black
Also,
sayings, how long they've been together.
twist. It turns out Luke is Mexican. Did not see that coming at all in any way. What did you think about his story about how his mom is Mexican and he actually grew up speaking Spanish, but then either his parents separated or something happened. Basically, they immigrated to America and they didn't want him speaking Spanish in America, which is very common for a lot of first gen families that are coming from a different place to assimilate into culture, they'll tell their kids to like just fully embrace American culture. My mom, similar situation. She doesn't speak a lick of Tagalog, but she can understand it. But her father really pushed that she needed to like assimilate and be a normal American teen.
Okay.
What did you think of his story? Did you know that he was Mexican?
Makes no difference to me at
It
all.
was just word salad. You're like, I don't need this. This is
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay, cool. You're Hispanic. Great.
Latin. Anyway,
Moving on.
that's it. That's all I got. That's all the couples. Unless you remember something else from the show.
Nope. And on to Hoochie Daddies.
I would sigh. I didn't even make you watch any of the clips, so you should be happy.
Because there was nothing to watch.
Actually, there was. They ate bugs. I don't know why.
Exactly.
But they
really
did.
Nothing to watch.
It was very interesting. But we're also winding down. We're getting closer and closer to figuring out who's going to be the big hoochie daddy. The challenges were interesting. Woody was like, "Y'all got to eat these bugs." The girls were disgusted immediately. Woody also went out of her way to make it as gross as possible. And when the girls were like, "Did you eat any of these bugs?" She was like, "Production tried it." And they're like, "Did you try it?" And she goes, "Production tried it." So the winner of the bugs, I believe was no, if you ate the bugs, you got a point. The only person who didn't eat the bugs was my girl Money Montana. She was like, "Can't do it. I'm just gonna have to take that loss. I'm gonna take that hit." She was ahead, so now she doesn't have this point. So now she's either even or behind. The next challenge is for them to dunk themselves in the pool and hold their breath for as long as they can. That's the challenge.
That's better than all other challenges they had so far.
Here's the other thing. It's the dead of winter there at the time. It's 22 degrees as a high where they're at.
Actually, that's a good challenge.
How? It's a dangerous challenge. It's a dangerous challenge. So they're like, she's like, "Yeah, go ahead and do it." As soon as these girls touch that water, they're already freezing. No, there's not too many that can make it past 5 seconds because it's so cold. Money Montana stands out in the way that she figures out how to trap herself underwater so that she can get this point. She's the only one that like goes to the side of the pool to like brace herself against the edge so that she can duck her head under and hold it there for as long as she can. And she holds out for a long time. But the person who beats her out, Ty Jack. Ty Jack ends up winning that challenge.
What the hell's Hijack?
Ty Jack's the little one that kept getting into fights with 24K.
How's she win?
She copied Moni. She went and did the little edge trap thing so she could hold herself against the edge and duck herself under. She just held her breath for longer. So she wins. But it helps her because she needed to get put on the board. So now it's looking more even with the girls. But between them all eating bugs and getting that point, and then Ty Jack winning the hold your breath challenge, it's looking a lot more even. But Raw has edged out just a little bit more. Raw's now in the lead. But they keep saying it's still anybody's game. We clearly only have one episode or two, maybe at most, left. This is the 9th episode. I really want Money Montana to win, but I feel like there's going to be a last minute switch up and it's going to be somebody so random. So who knows? Is there anybody you're rooting for?
Guess Money Montana.
Interesting.
Maybe Baby Jackson or Jackson Baby.
Baby Jackson is hurting.
Okay, Baby Jackson.
Okay.
Listen.
What'd you think of their song I played for you? I can
song?
play it again.
Oh God, I should have remembered it.
I ain't no regular ass nigga. Baby, I'm a hoochie daddy. You don't remember this?
Yes, it has some bars. Sounded alright. It's straight. Ain't no different than the music you hear now. Anyway,
What did you think of Money Montana's lines?
bars.
Was it, or are you being sarcastic?
Bars.
Here, I'll play some.
I tried to save y'all. I tried. Turn me on.
That's like all Cooley. I don't even hear none of the other girls. But yeah. There you go. That's it. That's it for Hoochie Daddies. Do you want to move on to Love During Lockup?
Love during lockup. Season 5, episode 25.
Yep. There's no Teeny and Rob this week.
Oh, no Teeny Rob. Andrew and Candace. So basically, Candace is giving Andrew
The cold shoulder.
the Andy treatment. So she pretty much is telling him how she's not really ready to be intimate with nobody, whatever, and she just wants to be by herself. Not really be by herself, but she's not in a place right now because she's emotionally not there because of everything that happened to her in her past and drugs and how she's trying to get her son back in her life and all the abuse she's took and all that stuff. Meanwhile, she's still taking them presents though,
Oh my god. Some of that
And
stuff
that
is
money-
valid.
and taking that money and all that stuff. But I can't do anything physical right now. Hopefully he'd understand. And the
Mhm.
producer's like, are you attracted to him? Yeah, I am. Which means no. So pretty much he's gonna get the Andy treatment. It's just how long she stays around now.
Mhm.
Hopefully he get more days than Andy did. Which was only like a day and a half, if that. But we will see what happens with them. You got anything on them that you want to add?
I feel bad for what's his face?
Andrew?
There can't be two Andys. There can't be.
Yeah.
They're both Andy?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
One is Andy and one is Andrew.
I feel bad for Andrew. Andrew seems like legitimately, genuinely sweet, but also seems like a complete doormat and pushover. Like I feel like he has difficulty setting boundaries for himself because he wants to be in love.
To be loved! To be loved! Oh, what a feeling!
I usually give you grief, but that was an excellent reference. Anywho, so I do. I feel bad. Like I feel like he's aware this could absolutely go where she's just using him, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is not the first time that that's happened for him.
Someone to kiss.
Someone to miss.
Shut the fuck up!
Calvin's referencing Coming to America for those who do not understand this reference. But yes. So he seems like a legitimate nice guy. So it's a shame, but it's happening. It's also cracking me up that they're like, "Are you even attracted to him?" And then she's like, "Yeah." And then there's the next clip is her being like, "Listen, I can't be around you. You can't touch me. Don't even think about sex. And the longer you're around, the more I'm freaking out. So I need you to also leave. Thanks. Bye."
And Rick and Samantha.
I love this couple.
I
love Rick.
don't.
Samantha, I can
think
take care of
Rick
her.
was with his gigolo. I don't.
Rick would be the gigolo. That guy would be his pimp.
Rick was with his pimp. I'm sorry. A pimp.
Rick
named
and his friend
Slickback.
go do his shopping list for his honey-do list for Samantha. And his friend is not who any of us thought would be. It was his friend
A
for
pimp,
this.
Mr. Mo Bitches.
It's this black guy who looks like he's straight out of a character, you know what it looks like? Malibu Most Wanted. Do you remember that movie?
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Exactly looks like.
It looks like that.
I'm intrigued by this show about the friendships that don't make sense.
I think this man might be related to his recovery. I think this might be his sponsor in that process. I don't know. But that is my.
That's another way of saying his pimp.
How is
His
that another way?
sponsor. You just said his sponsor.
Yeah, if you're in like an anonymous, like Alcohol Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, you could have sponsor. Somebody who like coaches and guides you through the process.
Okay, I've never been in none of those things, so I wouldn't know.
You've never had a friend you've never watched a movie like it's referenced a lot.
No. Don't remember that in any movie.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of movies with crackheads, but they never got sponsors afterwards. They were just crackheads the whole movie.
There's movies about recovery, like people like Sandra Bullock was in 28 Days. It's
Never
all
saw
about
that.
her journey in recovery.
Never saw that.
Excellent. So,
In my gangster movies, I see the crackheads are just crackheads.
okay.
They go get help, but you never see them have a coach. They just go talk to somebody.
I do wonder how else they would have crossed paths. How else would this man be his friend? Or do you think he's dating one of his nieces?
I don't think that is what it is. I think he's a pimp.
What if he's the boyfriend to the what is she? The girl who works in the prisons. What if she's
The
what if that's the
correction
boyfriend? Yeah, the
officer?
correctional officer. Huh? It would make sense.
Prayers for not that being it.
I just love that that's a friendship that exists. I love it for Rick. He writes Samantha a song. He's very dedicated to it. I do feel like he just completely stole it from 90s rock, but whatever. He also gets a little emotional in his conversation with her because he's very dedicated to the idea of this relationship, and he feels at odds sometimes with her because she doesn't seem to take it as seriously.
I'm gonna need to get Rick some icy hot because I need him to man up.
Why would Icy Hot help with that?
So I put it in his eye so it burns, so it mans him up a little bit.
That doesn't make sense. Anywho, and then he goes and buys a lot of vitamins. A lot.
And on to Ayana and Jamal. What? What?
You're just done with Rick and Samantha? You don't have anything to
I'm
add?
very done with Rick and Samantha. Rick is too sensitive for me. He cries too much. Even at least Andy don't cry all the time. Andy's cried once, and it was this episode. Rick's been crying every episode.
I don't fault him for having the emotions. Andy was petulant. He was like a kid.
I don't care. He didn't cry.
Feelings are fine.
Every
Colin.
time Rick talks about Samantha, just love you, Samantha.
I'd rather him cry than bottle it up. So I'm happy that he feels that it's a safe space to express himself.
One last cry. One last cry.
You want him to be like Ayana and just go straight to hatred?
I would rather him be more manly and be like, yes, I care about you. The end.
Manly doesn't mean, oh, I forgot you're a child of the 80s. You're Gen X. Never mind.
What's that mean?
You weren't allowed to have feelings as a
No,
kid.
we don't cry unless we
That's what it means.
need to cry.
Gen Xers are known for not having emotions like that. They're
We only cry when we need to cry, when there's something to cry for. We don't just randomly cry just to cry.
It's not a random cry. That's
It
not
is
how
a random
emotions
cry.
work.
It is a
Emotions
random
don't
cry.
work like that.
Yes.
That cry is a response to something. It's an emotional response to something. It's not random.
First of all, she berated him. That's why he cried, because she was like, now I think you're serious about getting married to me because you did all this stuff. Now you're buying me things. So now I think you're serious. Then he's crying about, yeah, I just want you to know I'm in this for the long haul and I really want us to work. Then he's crying. Means absolutely. His tears were fruitless to me.
Fruitless. He was talking
Frivolous.
about how
Frivolous, I should say.
important this was for him. That's why he was crying. He's very invested in this. You're hilarious. Anywho, since
Man up.
he's fine. Clearly, he's fine the way he is. Did you not see all of the pussy he had to push away?
Maybe the black man. That's why I don't understand why he's crying all the goddamn time. That's really why I don't understand why he's crying all the goddamn time. That's my problem. Maybe the black man is his sponsor to get his emotions in check. Maybe that's what he is.
He's his regulator.
He's his regulator, maybe. Maybe that's what he is.
Like, we got to get this back on track. All right, listen.
Never seen a man throwing away all these hoes and crying so damn much. Jeez Louise.
You are crazy. Anywho. But honestly, if he was a gigolo, I think he would clean house there. He would clean house. He wouldn't have to worry about that pension.
Whatever. Ayana and Jamal.
All right.
Um,
Ayana still cracks me up because she genuinely doesn't understand why she feels like she's in a turn of bad luck. She's like, I don't know why this bad stuff keeps happening to me. Girl, you are the reason this bad stuff keeps happening to you.
ding, 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 ding.
It's right after her call with Court, and she is frustrated because it ate into her time to go see Jamal.
I now understand why Jamal has 19 baby mamas.
Oh, you think he's fine?
No.
Oh.
He messes with crazy, unstable women,
Oh,
and then gets tired of it, and then leaves something behind.
we don't know that they're all like that.
Wasn't she fighting in the parking lot with the friend? So I'm assuming the friend is kind of crazy.
Well, but at the context of that is the friend found out that she was dating him. You're like, that
So it sounds like the friend's crazy. If that's the case, just
is
walk.
it?
Yeah. If your friend, me and you were dating, and then you find
Calvin,
out,
as we established, she was the other woman during the
like
relationship.
I said, I was dating your friend, and you started dating me, and then your friend found out,
Calvin,
would you fight her?
I might not initiate the fight, but I could absolutely see her fighting me. I can understand strong emotions happening, strong feelings.
Why?
I absolutely could see that.
Why? He's a horrible dude. Why are we fighting over a dude that doesn't care about neither of our
They
feelings?
were emotionally invested in this dude.
Stop.
That's why. Also,
Whatever.
the breakup of their friendship, like that's also that. Like I'm not
Whatever.
even important to you.
None of you are important to him, actually.
But not just him. It's also the breakup of their relationship, the two girls. And then with her getting married to him and also trying to be another baby mama, now they're going to be forced into each other's lives with their children. Like convoluted and complicated. Anywho,
Just shopping.
I guess Calvin's done explaining the rest happened for Ayana. So
Because it's just her being angry. Her being crazy and angry. That's all the episode was. Her crying with anger.
gets off the phone with Jamal after her court hearing, and is not ready to go see him. She's got to finish getting ready. Mind you, they're already behind because she's supposed to have been gone. Her friend comes to pick her up, and I asked Calvin, why does she keep getting picked up by people? And then I got to remember, she just had a court hearing about a DWI. So, does she not have a license, or does she not have a car?
She lost her license 3 DUIs ago. Maybe 3 or 4 DUIs ago.
She said that driver's license has been a memory for some time.
She
okay?
probably don't remember how her driver's license even look, other than somebody showing her hers, showing her theirs. Shoot.
It's interesting. So,
she got to get people to buy alcohol and liquor for her. She
probably.
can't purchase it herself.
Probably. So, but her friend picks her up, and then it's Ayana going off about how, like, the only time she had scheduled to see Jamal before she's supposed to be put away was this particular day. But also, court decided that they were going to have the hearing on that same day, around the same time frame that she was supposed to go see him. They're 2 hours behind to go see him. There's traffic. She's cussing out the traffic on the road. But they finally make it, only for her to turn around and come right back to the car.
But can we go back to that whole scenario?
Which scenario?
If she had just listened and do what she wanted to do, the hearing wouldn't have been that long. You're already in your house.
You are correct. If she just let the court talk,
If she let them do what they needed to do,
they would have wrapped it up.
it would have wrapped up very fine. She could have probably been doing her hair and getting ready.
And you can see that court transcript from the previous episode. A lot of it is injection from her being like, "Oh, I got to do this now. Oh, why do I have to do that? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm distracted. I've got to take care of my
Majority
kid."
the time was them trying to get her to shut up so they can give her what they needed to give her. So it's her fault. Once again, this dude is attracted to crazy women.
We don't know about the other ladies.
He is. Because she's too much of a leap.
Or you're saying it wouldn't have come from nowhere, this attraction.
Yes,
I
she's
see.
too much of a leap.
I see.
She's unless she's just doing this for TV, she's extreme.
Okay.
There's no way he went from a female who might be kind of emotional or no emotion to a female extremely emotional.
Here's my theory. The lady he married, I think she wasn't that emotional. The lady he married in his religion, I don't think that she was of the same caliber as Ayana.
And that's why it didn't work. He was gone before she said hello.
I agree. I'll agree with that sentiment. I agree with your theory that this is not his first foray into somebody who's a little animated.
It's exciting. He likes the thrill of whatever until he has to be around and deal with it. Now, as soon as he got to deal with it,
It'll be done.
that's when she's going to end up in jail.
Well, apparently he's a serial cheater anyway. So,
like I said, that's why she's going to end up in jail.
I also wonder if it bodes to his benefit to be with somebody like that because it's easier to just drop him.
No, he likes the whole
They
spectacle
chase
of
after me
chasing after
situation.
him.
They're
They love,
possessive of me.
yeah, until he's out and that possession turns to crazy.
Or now it's an inconvenience at
Yeah,
that point.
now it's an inconvenience because you can't do nothing when crazy pop up to your house. What you gonna do?
But Calvin, she's forever. She's lucky number 5.
You can't do nothing. You have to coach your boys, and crazy just pop up. You can't do nothing about that. Ain't too much you can do with crazy.
He's not getting out anytime soon. We got time. But yeah, she's upset about that. She only gets to see Jamal. You said what, for like a couple seconds or something? Apparently,
30 minutes.
that's not a couple seconds. That's a nice chunk of time.
They only got 30 minutes
Interesting.
out of 3 hours.
But she's upset because she wanted more time. She wanted to pussy pop and do all kinds of stuff with him.
I don't appreciate how she slammed that girl door when she got out of her car. That pissed me off. I'm like, I don't give a damn how crazy you are, but what you ain't gonna do is slam my car door.
It's so crazy.
You're gonna be walking back home for 3 hours.
Did you hear what
Slam
her
my
friend
door
said
again.
to her?
What?
How her friends, when Ayana's complaining about court and all of this other stuff, her friend goes, "You have a habit of making these like quick snap decisions that aren't to your benefit, and you don't realize it until you're flat on your face." She tells her friend that directly. I was shocked.
Why are you shocked? She probably says that all the time. She doesn't hear.
Oh, clearly she doesn't. She doesn't hear it. But this is like another person. Her mom said it. Her brother said it. This girl is saying it. Like there's a lot of people in Ayana's circle that are like, you are so quick to make a bad judgment. You're really quick to do it, and then you get stuck in it, and then you're surprised. Like that's what they keep saying to her.
You act like she's listening to any of them.
She's not,
Of
clearly.
course. So evidently she doesn't know what the hell they're saying.
And she is now crying and broken in the car after only having apparently 30 minutes with Jamal, and is like, I can't believe that this is how it worked out. I didn't get to have the visit I wanted, and I'm about to be put away myself. Mind you, she's being put away for 2 weeks. But she's mad about everything. Now she's got 4-year probation. She got that 175-day whatever whole household situation. Blah 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 blah. She got to pay that fine. And she's just blaming the world. She's like, I don't know why bad stuff keeps happening to me. It's like,
Girls like her are better as friends with benefits.
I don't even think that's safe.
No, that's safe.
Nope.
No, that's safe.
No.
It's safe.
No.
That's safe.
Nope.
What happens is when you, as the guy,
Do you know how quickly?
change the dynamics.
Do you know
of
how
that
quickly
relationship.
crazy catches feelings? I don't. In my opinion,
It's
let me get on my soapbox.
It's okay.
I don't believe in friends with benefits. I understand that in a perfect world,
It's
it could
okay.
exist
It's
with no
okay.
strings attached. But I know too many cases where friends with benefits turned into somebody with feelings and hurt feelings and inevitable breakup. Just like situationships. I don't understand that either. That just sounds like another way to say friends with benefits. I don't understand. Either you like this person and you want to pursue something, or you don't. End of period.
Why are you so animate about that?
Because it doesn't make sense to me. And I get really upset.
Polyamory
I
makes
get
sense to you,
upset.
but that doesn't make sense to you.
Polyamory has rules. Polyamory has rules.
Guess what? Friends with benefits has rules too.
Not really.
But it does.
No. It exists in a gray.
No.
Yes.
The rules are we just sleep together. That's it. we're
Polyamory is the exploration of relationships with other people. It's not just
Your
a
problem
physicality.
is it's not relationship based. That's your issue.
But it is relationship based. But we're pretending it's not. That's what friends with benefits is.
The relationship is we're friends. That's a relationship. That has sex every once in a while. That's a relationship. We're just friends. See how I made that more easy for you to understand and accept?
Here's my thing. The friendship aspect of it is fine. The with benefits part is where things get confusing because, again, so many of the time, someone wants to turn that friendship into a romance.
No, a lot of the times is the dudes say things that they shouldn't say. That makes
Look
it.
at Natalie and Josh, friends with benefits.
Who's Natalie and Josh?
90 Day Fiance.
Which one?
Joshua, he won't let me see his house. I moved to LA for him.
No.
I know nothing. I'm just a
No.
Ukrainian girl.
Once again, He changed the parameters. He did that.
Josh had stayed saying, we're just friends with benefits.
He
stayed saying,
he changed the
we're just
parameters.
friends with
What
benefits.
did Josh do, Javon? He moved her to LA to be closer to him.
According to him, he didn't move her. She made that decision.
He's lying.
Is he?
Yes.
Or is he being technical?
Then he's technically lying. How about that?
I understand intent versus action is a little different.
It doesn't
There's
matter.
Spider?
No.
Oh my God.
It doesn't matter. He moved her there. He spent all his money, got her a place. He's doing husbandly boyfriend actions.
But he's friends with benefits.
That's not friends with benefits.
Well, exactly what you're describing is why I think so many friends with benefits does not work.
Yeah, because they, instead of keeping it like that, they start doing husbandly stuff.
But I think it gets seen as husbandly stuff
And
because
dudes-
now there's a sex element added.
And dudes say things they shouldn't be saying in a time of, I guess, they're having sex. Women will ask certain questions. You got to be wary of those questions because if you answer them a certain way, that's when the dynamics change.
Gotta be wary of it. I think
Yeah.
dynamics change when you add sex to the equation. I think it's possible to be friends with somebody and only have physicality, not have anything else. I just think it's rare. I don't think it's the norm. And I feel a way when people try to sell me that, oh no, that's completely the norm. More people are doing it this way. No. I constantly hear about people who start out as friends with benefits or situationship where they didn't want to have labels or titles, but everything else gets confusing as they progress.
It's because
They're like, well, he did this. What does that mean? She did this.
no.
What does that mean?
Exactly. They start doing things they shouldn't be doing.
But
That's what
it's
I'm saying.
because the perspective is now different with the sex that's being added.
No.
Because if your friend was like, you should move out to LA, be close to me as a friend, there's no extra weight to
Exactly.
it.
But he didn't say that to her.
That is what he said to her. Remember? Because when
No.
they covered it in the reunion, that's exactly how she and Josh phrased it. Josh was like, you should be closer to me. We'd get to spend more time together. Natalie was like, yeah, I'll do that. And decided to move to Los Angeles with no plan.
Then if that's the case, that's her fault.
You just said it was Josh's. And you laid out why.
Because I think he started saying things and changing that. Because he said, I want a relationship. He said he wanted a relationship with her. He said that.
Okay.
Once again, he changed the dynamics of the relationship when he said that.
But he said it at the reunion. He hadn't been saying it prior to.
Javon, he's been saying it privately.
I just realized I took all of these medicines and I was supposed to eat food and I did not.
Whatever.
I'm going to throw up in my mouth. Anywho.
Sure. Whatever. I won't be here.
I feel like there's bugs all over me and there's not. Anyway.
He changed the dynamics of that relationship.
I feel a way about friends with benefits versus situationships versus an actual relationship. I know for me specifically, if I'm going to start sleeping with you, I'm going to catch feelings. I know I'm going to catch feelings. I'm not going to set myself up. Why would I do that? That's dumb. Why would I do that?
Even if the sex is not good, you're just going to catch feelings.
Why would I be friends with benefits of somebody where the sex is not good? What does that? How does that make sense?
You don't know until you try. That's the first thing. Number one. Number two.
What?
You go like maybe the first time, maybe that was just a fluke. You need at least 2 sample sizes. You need at least 2 samples.
Sample sizes.
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 samples to get a
a Costco sample.
Yeah, to get a firm idea of what you're dealing with.
Isn't that dating? Isn't that what dating is
No,
for?
that's just we had sex 3 times.
3? Why do you need 3 times?
Because
You said 2. Now 3?
the third time is to make sure.
Kelvin.
Third time is to make sure.
First time? Second
First
time?
time.
Okay, a little more critical
maybe,
thinking.
okay. Yeah. Third time? No, I was right the first time. You suck. I was right the first time. You suck. Yeah. I'm right. Yeah.
That's dumb. Anywho.
The only way you get a 4th time is if I'm in
Not a 4th
dire
time.
straits. I'm in dire
Not
straits.
a 4th
I done called
time.
everybody in my dictionary.
Not a 4th time. Okay, so you're telling me you had successful friends with benefits is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Interesting. Is it only successful because you weren't aware of their feelings for you? You're not the most
No.
emotionally conscious person. So
No.
would you have even picked up that they liked you more than they said?
Yeah, I established boundaries from the jump. I'm like, this is not going anywhere. I don't really like you that much as a human being, kind of, sort
You
of.
didn't do any of that with me. You did none of that with me.
What?
Set boundaries, have these kind of conversations. None of that occurred.
We were just talking. We weren't doing anything.
Okay.
And then we got into a relationship. Right? Did I miss something? Did I miss something?
So I was under the impression that we were dating. So you're saying that we weren't. We were just hanging out at that time.
We didn't start dating until we went to Valentine's Day.
I thought we were dating when I met you, and I spent the night at your. It's not called a dorm.
Why are we airing this, working this out on
What is it? Barracks.
the podcast?
Because I think this adds to my confusion about the whole friends with benefits thing. Like in that situation, say that we had started as friends with benefits when we first met. I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known that we were only friends with benefits. I didn't even know that you only considered it us just hanging out. I knew we weren't in a serious relationship, but I thought that we were dating,
Say
like with
what
the
you
purpose of
said
romance.
Again, we were not in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay, so in my head, you meet and then you start to date.
First of all, we met. You went with somebody else. Right?
Why are you airing my laundry?
No, this is what you wanted.
No, it's not.
I tried to stop you.
No,
but
it's not.
Since you want to go here, let's finish the podcast like this. Why not? You came to see somebody else.
I didn't come to see somebody. I didn't come to see anybody. That was my first time at a club.
No. When you came to the barracks,
Oh.
you came to see somebody else.
No. Mm-mm. Me and that other person were already done by that point.
You came to see somebody else.
No.
Stop the lie.
When I came to the barracks wait, you're talking about the time I came to your room or the time that we talked when what's his face was on duty?
The time you came to my room.
So the time I came to your room, it wasn't for me to see somebody else. My friend at the time needed a reason to leave the house. She had very strict parents. So I was the reason to leave the house. The
Sure.
plan was for me to go there with her so she could go see her man. But I was supposed to make myself scarce. But I didn't know what to do.
Whatever. So you was there to see somebody else.
I wasn't there to see
Then
anybody.
you protruded on my sleeping time
You weren't sleeping.
and knocked on my room because I was taking a shower.
Yeah, because you were about to go out. You weren't
No,
sleeping, you
I was
liar.
on my way to my. I was about to take a shower to go to sleep.
No, you definitely don't take no showers to go to sleep. You are a liar.
I was taking a shower to go to sleep.
That's a lie.
I went to sleep.
Calvin, you put on cologne. Who puts cologne on to go to sleep?
I went to sleep. You were there.
So what's that got to do with cologne?
I wanted to smell good. What? Because now I have a visitor that I wasn't expecting.
I was told you were well aware I was coming. I was told you were well
henceforth,
aware.
The start of the lie.
That's not a lie.
That is the lie.
He said he called you.
After you guys got there, and then after the fact, he never called me.
He said he called you.
He never called me. And if he did, I didn't answer because I was in the shower.
Squinty eyes.
Squinty eyes, whatever. So you started off in a premise of you wasn't even there for me.
Calvin, I wasn't.
So let's just stop this nonsense.
I wasn't there
how,
to see somebody else.
At the end of the day, we weren't in a relationship.
The point was, I thought that we were getting to know each other to pursue a romance. That's what I thought. And you're saying that that's not what came across your head at all.
I didn't know. I was just okay. We just.
But what I'm saying is
Talking.
that little
So
misunderstanding.
every dude that you talk to, you think you're trying to get to know you romantically.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes.
No one just has casual conversation.
No. At that time,
See-
that's absolutely what I believed.
See,
At
oh,
that time,
okay.
that's absolutely what I believed.
Well, you were just immature.
Yes, I was young. I was a teenager. You grown man met me when I was 19.
I was 20.
Yeah, you were 20.
Yeah.
I
So I wasn't.
no, I think you just turned 21. I think you had just turned 21.
And two, I'm used to talking to people just casually.
But I'm not. I was straight out of high school. And in high school world, if whoever you were talking to immediately became your boyfriend. Immediately.
Well, Well, you were crazy.
That's
You're crazy.
that was my normal. Like that was my baseline. So
My baseline is I've talked to a lot of people. That doesn't mean we dated. That's my baseline. We're just talking.
wait, okay. So according to you, we went from talking straight into a relationship.
Yeah.
There was no dating. We didn't date at all.
That's what we were dating in between. Yeah.
When did we start dating then? Because if we were just talking when we first met up with each other,
We're talking to get to know
when
each
did
other.
dating happen?
We started talking, get to know each other. And then
Okay.
we went on.
Then you
that,
left. You went on your
yeah,
Westpac.
And then when we went on that for that oh God, Valentine's Day.
Okay.
That's when we started dating.
We weren't boyfriend and girlfriend at that point?
No.
Come on, I literally asked you to be my boyfriend, and you say
Valentine's
yes.
Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
Yes.
When you walked me back to my car, I was like, "Will you be my boyfriend?" And you say yes.
That's us dating now.
That's us in a relationship now.
But we're still dating.
No.
We're still getting to know each other.
Dating is getting to know each other.
You can be in a relationship still getting to know somebody.
Yes, you can, but you're no longer dating if you're already in the relationship.
But
are we dating right now? How about that? Are we dating right now?
yes, we're dating right now. I've been dating you for the last 20, 30 some years. Yes. That's what I've been doing. My whole life has been just dating you.
I'm just saying. If us talking before you left that summer for your Westpac was just talking and not dating, our window to date before we became a couple is tiny.
To me, even if you're in a relationship, you're still dating and talking and getting to know each other.
In your okay, so when would we be in a committed relationship then? What to you?
We're still committed. I'm still talking to you in a relationship with you, getting to know you. We're still committed and we're still dating.
So you're saying dating and being in a coupledom is basically the same thing?
Yeah. In a relationship, yeah.
Okay, so for you, it goes talking stage,
Yeah.
relationship stage.
Yeah.
And for me, there's no talking stage. It goes dating stage to relationship stage for me. So it's the same thing. We're just using different words.
Whatever, you're crazy.
You're crazy.
Oh, God.
At 110% yes. In my 20s, I thought if you were talking to me to get to know me, you wanted to romantically be with me. Yes.
That means you were not in a healthy place.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Because that's not healthy.
I hadn't experienced the world. I had no idea.
That's not healthy.
I had no idea about these other dynamics, the casualness that you would have with these dynamics. I had no idea.
Granted, I had to learn that too, but I didn't automatically think that just because we're talking, we're dating.
Let me give you age brackets because we started talking when I was 19, and then we became a committed couple when I turned 21. No, when I turned 20. That's a year, barely a year. I hadn't really experienced the world, and I had been with you ever since. So my dating life prior to that was all high school. And like I said, immediately if the guy started talking to me to show any kind of romantic interest, we then became a couple immediately. We then became boyfriend and girlfriend. There was no talking stage.
You're very lucky because now I'm learning things. I'm like, this is crazy.
How am I lucky? That wasn't a norm in your high school?
No, not
So people casually dated in your high school?
not for me.
Oh, not for you specifically.
Yeah, I don't care what everybody else is doing.
Cal-
Maybe that's the issue. I don't care what anybody else is doing, so it doesn't mean anything to me.
You didn't have friends that were like, I like that girl, and then they immediately were a couple? That didn't happen?
I'm like, okay, I'm like, go talk to her then. I don't give a shit.
You're so crazy. Anywho, this
I
has
don't,
been a
I
whirlwind.
don't care about people's relationships.
You don't have to care about the relationships.
I don't care.
I was just confused.
I think it's more about
I
I
didn't realize we were as casual as you perceived us to be when we first started.
I just think I don't pay it. I don't care too much about what you doing unless you want me to care or want me to know.
Well, okay, so when we first started,
Or if it's being detrimental to me in some way
okay,
or capacity.
because when we first started talking, you did let me know that you were seeing other people.
Yeah.
So you did at least tell me that. So I knew we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, but I definitely thought
So
that we
once
were.
again, I don't understand.
But I thought we were.
From.
I thought we were pursuing a romance, but you're making it sound like I was another friend with benefits. That's what you're making it sound like. I was being added to the rotation for another friend with benefits before you left.
No, I didn't know what we were going to be. It was somebody I met A nice person that I met. She seemed cool. Another cool person I met.
But so that another friend with benefits.
If something happened. It didn't.
Right, like limited expectation.
Yeah.
So another friend with benefits. We got along.
My whole premise was not to sleep with you. It was just.
But I don't know if that's necessarily the premise for friends with benefits. I don't know that you're like, I'm sexing you today.
No, it's just somebody I met who's really cool. Somebody I kind of vibe with. That's pretty much how I meet everybody. I put everybody in that category.
Listen, your Sagittarius nonchalance is very frustrating.
That's all I do.
That's all I do.
I don't think nothing of it until either you say something to me or
what?
I feel a certain way.
You know what? Actually, this explains then why Doherty told me what he told me about you talking about me when you were talking about whether or not you were going to pick up where you left off when you came back. That actually makes a lot more sense now than.
What
that makes a lot more sense.
What did he say?
Remember? Because I told you the story several times. I think we've talked about it on the podcast as well. But after you left for your Westpac, when Eileen was talking to Doherty brought up that you told him that you hope I'm not waiting for you because you're not trying to be in a relationship with me when you got back.
I wasn't trying to be in a relationship with nobody, really.
But that makes more sense to me now.
But at the same time, too,
I understand your investment in us at that time.
At the same time, too, why the hell would you wait? You don't know me.
I understand that about you now. But like I said, at that time, if you were talking to me, we were together.
And
we were together.
The military works. All them dudes come back home. The other dudes in the house. I'm like,
that's
and you
yeah.
And you're in your partying phase.
I kind of was.
And you California
phase.
Girls were different.
I don't know what that means.
You were more freer.
I don't know what that means.
You were more in touch with your sexuality.
What? Okay, we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it. This is getting wild. It's getting wild.
You're more
okay.
You're more free. So
oh my
I didn't
gosh.
expect you. Not saying you was gonna be out there doing whatever. I'm just saying I didn't expect you to be sitting there waiting for no dude. Especially when he's on deployment. Especially already being other military people probably talking and saying, this is what we do, this is what happens.
I'm just saying, 6 months later, that's exactly what happened. I ended up waiting on a dude.
Who?
You! 6 months later, if you come back from that Westpac, we get together. We became a couple about a month after you got back. And then you went off for another TDY. So, that's exactly what happened.
I think it was just happenstance because we kept bumping into each other. That's what happened. That's more what it was like, what happened.
Oh, instead of it being dating, you're saying.
Yeah.
We just kept running into each other.
We just kept running into each other.
Okay. Even though I saw it as dating. But okay.
First, how it was dating, you were at a club with some other people.
Other people? It was me and Eileen. That was it.
You were with a bunch of other dudes, weren't you?
No.
Okay, we're done. Thanks for listening. We're done. Because someone is now lying to make me look like I'm crazy. All right. Thanks for listening, y'all guys. We see you guys next week.
What are you talking about?
Whatever.
Thank you for listening to We Like That podcast.
So we like that.
Go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know you want to. And rate us 5 stars. I'm Javon.
I'm Calvin.
Later, people.
And we're out.